Hola mi gente. Greetings, good people. I hope everyone is fine and doing well. Right now we're leaving Bayonne and heading out to somewhere in central Jersey. I think it's in or around Piscataway because Georgeanne has a presentation and there's a symposium, and it's based on some work related to cancer research that Georgeanne has been involved in this summer, last summer and this summer. It's a really cool program. So I'll let her give us more details because I don't have all the facts. And so thanks for coming along on the ride. I had thought that this summer I would I'd be more active in posting videos, but this summer has turned out differently from what I thought it might be. One thing is I am busy looking for a new job, so that has kept me pretty occupied, both in my head and just taking up my time. So we're heading out now, and I'll let Georgeanne give us more details about her program. All right, here we are, good people, and we're now in the car, as you can see, and things have changed. All right, they've changed, they've been rearranged. I thought that I would be at the wheel, and so as we'd be heading on our journey to
in 2 miles, take the exit onto I-95
Central Jersey, that's what I'm trying to say. Then I would be, then we would get an interview with Georgeanne to explain the ins and the outs of the program that she's been in this summer, for which we are now headed to a symposium, but she is at the wheel. And so not the wheels of steel, but the wheel. So she's focused on the road, and we shall not interrupt the driver. So what we do then have is the pleasure, the honor, and the privilege of hearing from Pablo of Pablo TV Vlogs. So many times he is my and has been my cameraman, excellent cameraman, reliable, superb, phenomenal. And today though, or at least right now, we get to hear from him. Now Pablo TV Vlogs is of course his YouTube channel, so you can go there. Actually, I advise you to go there. It's an excellent YouTube channel from a young adult who has his meditations on life and his navigations through life and discoveries and really exciting, dynamic things going on there. And so if you want dynamism, if you want something fun, enjoyable, and also thought-provoking, then go to Pablo TV Vlogs, and you can do that now. Then come back here, and when you come back here, you will get to hear from Paul of Pablo TV Vlogs. So we'll speak to him now. Paul, are you ready?
Use the right
All right.
lane to take the exit onto
Here we go.
I-95 South, New Jersey Turnpike South.
So, Paul, okay, I know the lighting is a bit, the sun is coming from behind us. So, this symposium that we're going to, it represents work by several people, including your mom. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are
Take the exit.
I don't know, sorry.
exciting.
Okay.
I can't wait to see what she's been working entirely, because she's been working tirelessly over the summer. So I'm excited to see that, as well as just other people networking, and I think that would be a great way to network as well. But not just to network, but also just taking them. I hope my mom takes in the time that she really needs after she does her workload of excellent presentation.
Okay, wonderful. I like that. So, apart from the amazing work that she's been doing, you're hoping that she gets a break
Yes,
where she can just chill out and relax.
indeed so.
I'm looking forward to that as well, Paul. Thank you.
Yes.
What was that?
I said I'm looking forward to that as well. Thank you, Paul.
No problem.
Okay, there we go. Awesome. So, excellent. And so I see some similarities because mommy has been hard at work this summer. And so for those who don't know, Georgeanne, Paul's mom, my wife, is a teacher. So typically summer would be a time to, you know, put her feet up and do things of that nature. But she's been busy. And then you, Paul, who are a student, would also be using summer similarly, but you've been busy as well with school.
Yes, I am.
So the two of you have both been busy. And so my salute to both of you.
Thank you.
So are you looking forward to any relaxation of your own?
Yes. It's scheduled hopefully like this upcoming week, and hopefully go to the beach if the weather is doing well. So hopefully to have a chance to relax, maybe spend time with a few people, make me my friends. So yeah.
All right, nice. And I think earlier this summer you've gotten to hang out with some of your, or you know, like old friends from back in Kenya and some relatives, and
Yes.
you've had a lot of fun with that, right?
Yes. But it was cut short, so
Okay.
more time sometime.
Yes, yes, I hear you. All right, so I know Paul's face might look like a half moon there, with half of it in the shadow and half of it out. So that's what we call that stylistic lighting. And so we're heading on out. We're on I-95 South. So we're just going by, that's Newark Airport out there. So we're on the I-95 heading south towards Central Jersey.
Go past this light. Then at the next one, turn left.
Excellent. We have finally managed to find parking, which was not very easy. And so now heading off. It looks like they left me behind. So if I have hopes of attending this symposium, I need to find them. Ah, here they are. Excellent.
Second floor.
So he said this is no longer called Cancer Institute of New Jersey.
Yeah, of New Jersey is no longer there. It's a bridge. Oh, yeah, this is a bridge, yeah. Connecting the
Stinky smells.
Oh,
That's chemical smell.
oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, from what we're doing on the bridge there.
Thank you.
Good morning.
What can we do? My name is Media Arts. Media Arts.
There's some breakfast offering here, and at my age, bagels don't do me any favors. So I usually don't touch them, but when there's free food, it's hard to say no. So I've got my bagel there, and then I see this big R. There are a lot of big R's all around here, and it would be nice to think that the R stands for Rhysce or Raiola. But truth be told, we are at Rutgers University. So that's what the R stands for in this case. Nonetheless, I claim it and I own it. The big R. Here we have a copy of the program. And so we see that it's the Rutgers Youth Enjoy Science, 4th Annual Research Symposium. Awesome. So that's today's date. Our guest speaker. And then here's a rundown of today's events. Superb. So let's see the explanation of the program. It says here that throughout their participation in RUYES, teachers have created cancer-focused interactive lessons using problem-based learning and next-gen science standard for teaching in their classrooms. So Georgeanne is a biology teacher, by the way. She's a high school biology teacher. These lessons are developed. Oops, there's an announcement.
Finish off, whatever. Oh, and then we gotta start getting ready anyway.
Okay, so there'll be a group picture for those who are in this program. Guests are not included, that's okay. So as we were reading here, these lessons are developed with the collaboration of the Education and Training Department at Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey and the Center for Mathematics, Science, and Computer Education, Rutgers Continuing Studies. Brilliant. Okay, so there are pictures, and I had seen Georgeanne's picture. Let's locate that. That's the highlight here. Here we go. There we go. Profiling the protein expression of lymphocyte functional antigen 1 in cell lines of B cell malignancies. And we see their presenter, Georgeanne Osanya. Bayonne High School, Bayonne, New Jersey. That's what we're here for. Nice. Awesome. Phenomenal. Well, that's superb. So looking forward to today's program.
in various New Jersey counties, compare it to the incidence rates, and see if that catchment area definition holds true. So for our methods, we obtained the patient registration data from CINJ. We retrieved the following information: zip code, sex, and year of enrollment. And last but not least,
have Shelby, who is from the New Jersey Medical School. Her mentor is Byron Soraya. Shelby, thank you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for letting me give you this presentation. So I'll be talking about the research I did this summer with Dr. Soraya, and it's titled A Qualitative Study Exploring the Emotional Impact and Self-Identity in Patients Being Treated with Neurological Malignancies Separated by House Scores. So first, I want to give a little bit of information about financial toxicity in general. So financial toxicity is any financial burden that the patient and their family have due to cancer and cancer treatment. So examples of this can look like caregiver expenses, medications, hospital fees, the imaging and diagnostics the patients need, if they have to travel to their treatments, and then also more non-direct ways such as different like budgeting of their life and maybe not being able to save or reallocating money that was maybe set towards children's education now into their treatment. And I'd also like you guys to take a look at this survey on the other side of the screen. This is the COST survey, which stands for the Comprehensive Scoring of Financial Toxicity. And it's an 11-item score from 0 to 4, which is a valid marker of if a patient has a high financial toxicity, if they score low, and if they score high, then they have a lower incidence of financial, as well as reducing their spending on food, clothing, or leisure activities.
Yeah, I timed myself and hi, Maria, you're here? Wonderful. Come in. I'll begin. Okay.
No, it's okay.
So do you remember him? This is Maria.
Hello.
Last time when
Yes.
we were pulling in,
I remember you last summer.
this is my mentor. Yeah, Dr. Sheshe. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and start. We have only 5 minutes. So thank you so much for being here. This summer at the Zong Lab, I was working on profiling the protein expression of lymphocyte functional antigen 1 in cell lines of B-cell malignancies. Yeah. So just a bit of background on the protein. It's also referred to as LFA1. It's a transmembrane protein that is made up of two heterodimers, the CD18 and the CD11A, which are also referred to as beta-2 and alpha-1. Now, both of them are they work together, and usually their role is to addition actually in the transmembrane. That's their main role. But defects of the CD18 have also been shown to result in addition deficiency, so that proves their role. Now, the other thing about LFA1 is that it has shown up. There's a suggestion or an implication that it is involved both actually in three things: the initiation, progression, and metastasis of solid tumors, which is very interesting. Now, as far as the literature that is out there, it's usually highly expressed in human lymphomas, and I have this shows us the RNA expressions from the human protein atlas, and you can see that the RNA expression is very high in cases where there is tumors. So for me, I used the Western blotting technique. Now, the Western blotting technique is normally used to separate or identify specific proteins. Maria, I think you probably know that. I'm sure Dr. Sheshe knows that well. So, but my objective was to understand the technique better so that I can be able to take it back to my community, the students, or even the other members where needed, And I specifically worked with 5 human cell lines. That was SUDHL10, U293, 2, ARH77, AML193, and MALT4 to check for the protein expression of LFA1. Okay, so the Western blot technique is a very involving technique with many steps. It takes about a week, beginning with the lysing to get the proteins. Next, after the lysate was obtained, we went into quantitation. Now, this was where I linked my work from last summer to the current work. So we used the standard curves that I had prepared last year to identify the volumes of the proteins that will give us 30 micrograms to load onto the gel. So after resolving by the SDS page, 30 micrograms of proteins were resolved on 8% gel for each of these 5 different cell lines. And then of course we made the gel. A very interesting process because we do it from scratch, and I shadowed my mentor, and when she did it, it looked so easy. It wasn't quite the case when I tried to do it, but we managed. And then we transferred, okay, so we loaded the proteins, subjected them to an electric current. So the SDS page normally makes all the proteins negative so that they can travel from, negative to the positive side. And then they travel based on their molecular weight. So obviously the heavier ones will move a bit slower than the lighter ones. Then whatever we obtained from the gel was transferred to the nitrocellulose membrane, which is easier to work with. And then at that point, it was loaded with the primary antibody. I used 3. These are the 3 primary antibodies that we used to look for the expression of LFA1. Washed and then loaded with the secondary antibody, which normally has the fluorophore, which is now what you will show when you look at it under the instrument. So that was my setup. These were the volumes calculated according to the standard curve, and then these are the results. The results were very interesting because if you look at the 5 different cell lines, U2932 expressed the most. It's very bright, and it did that for both antibodies, followed by SUDHL10 and then AML 193. Now you might ask why? Why is it that this is expressing so much and these not as much? Now there is a process called post-translation modification, where after your protein has gone to its location, there can be an addition of glycosylation and phosphorylation that might end up with the same proteins with varying molecular weights. So that's what explains even the multiple bands or the different whatever. Now, interestingly enough, ARH77 did not express as much, so that shows that it has negligible amounts of your LFA1. Yeah, so those were the results, and as far as these results are concerned, it's very promising for future because the cell lines with the highest expressions can be used to test for inhibitors with promising implications for therapy. And the other interesting thing that I also learned is that even though the Western blot technique is used to identify or specify for proteins, it's a very common technique. The principle is used very commonly in the labs. Like if you take your sample for testing, most likely they are going to follow a similar process. And I think we're all familiar with, let's say, ELISA. After COVID-19, people have a better idea, yeah. So it follows the same principle. And the one thing I'd like to say, for me, I've had a wonderful time. It's been wonderful just doing this program for the last 2 years. There's also the curriculum part which we don't address here, but which is so beneficial as a teacher. And I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to, the RUYES program, Dr. Chaudhry and the team, Cassandra, Rosa, Bella, Yenny, and Christy. I'm also thankful to the grant providers, NCI and NIH. I also want to thank my PI, Dr. Zong. I could only have 3 here, but he's been very supportive just for the opportunity for the last 2 years. I am so excited and that my mentor could be here. I love this lady. I feel very indebted to her. I feel she's very wise. She handled me very, very well based on my schedule and just where I was coming from, and I feel like she was extremely patient because I know when we even did the micropipetting, a year later I was not, it was like she hadn't taught me, but she was so patient. I really appreciate you, Dr. Shishadri. Your mentoring was excellent. And then also the team was very supportive always, so I'm thankful to them. And then the PD team, I'm especially grateful to Christina. And then last but not least, my husband is here. I believe my son is going to come later. They really had to bear with me. Yeah, I know, especially transport-wise, we just have one car, so when I was using the car and we had to balance a lot. Yeah, and I really appreciate. Yeah, and these are the works that I cited. Any questions for me?
Yeah, I understand the Western Black technique.
Yes.
I'm wondering, like, because you have in here absorbance. So is that like how the intensity of the brightness, if you want to say it that way, is that how it is? Like, and then, so I know from what I remember when I was doing the same technique, you put it into the machine so that you can actually visualize the bonds, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You have the additional step where you actually conjugate into the fluorophore.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that's the one that's gonna make it.
Yes.
Glow, right?
Yeah.
But and then is the obviously the one actually measuring the brightness, and that is like labeled as absorbance?
No,
emission,
no, absorbance, this is a different step.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, this is a different process. So actually, this is what I did summer 2023.
Okay.
Yes. So with absorbance, you actually can use a different instrument. Yeah, so you're taking the samples and you're putting them in the microarray plate. Yeah, and then I don't know if you use that machine, but the machine.
This is the spectrophotometer.
Yes.
That's what I was saying. Usually, what I know about spectrum is like absorbance has to do with spectrophotometer.
Yes.
So, but concentration of the protein.
Yes.
You can actually use spectrophotometer for that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like it has to be colored then, right? So your protein has to be colored.
So we're adding a dye that binds the protein.
To the protein.
660 nanometer reagent is a dye.
Okay. So it has nothing to do with the Western Black.
That's the step preceding it. So then based on that we got the amount of protein.
Yeah, so you understand, when we are loading the gel, we are trying to make sure that for the different cell lines, we have the same amount of protein. So this is where we get the volume that will tell us exactly for each lane. Yes. Yeah.
Two things. Like I can actually use spectra for like protein concentration.
Yes.
And then second, of course, before I do this, I have to make sure that they're like controlled. The control.
Exactly. That you're using the same amount of protein. Yeah. So that your expression is based on the molecular weight and not because maybe you loaded too much in one lane compared to another. She taught me well.
Yeah, she did a great job explaining.
Yeah.
Especially the method, you did really well. Good job,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. She was very patient.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Maria.
This is your son, right?
Yeah, that's my son. Yeah. Hi. Oh, this is Maria. So Maria was with us. She's cohort too, so she's done. She's taking a break. She's also here to support us. Thank you so much, Maria. You're awesome.
My unbiased, totally objective opinion is that was an excellent presentation by Georgeanne. And I'm sure you all agree.
But since it's so toxic, it's very dangerous to give people such a high dosage of it's really a lot. Now we move on to the CH65126. This is the
So this made us ask the question, how does the decreased stress gene feel to BCA? How does the decreased stress gene expression lead to an increase in T-cell recognition? So, and the second question, how does the decrease in gene expression I'm going to have to call you back this year.
His work, his family, his cancer treatments, like an additional burden to put onto him, and it's hard to explain. While he wants to talk about it, and he might experience it, he's very excited about it, but when I approach him about it, it's hard to feel like part of it. Every counselor.
I left my sunscreen in my garage. It's dark. I mean, as long as it's not like 1,000 degrees in the sun, it's so like, if let's say you're going to school and you're about to empty ventilation, which is to encourage like athletes, right? Because activate or epigenetics regulation in the cell. But before work with inhibitor, I have to test it for the safety. That's why we did MTGSA to evaluate if this given concentration is safe to use for it because we don't want to have.
Hi everyone. My name is Peter. Hi everyone, my name is Peter. My name is Peter Feffel. I worked with Dr. Christina Montana, and I'm a cohort 3, and I'm student of NGCU. And my research area was about the genomic instability and the cancer genetics. So my research is actually about mitotic abnormalities in HPV positive integrated cervical and intestinal carcinomas by histopathology evaluation. So to do so, I love the picture, so you'll see a lot of pictures in there. So based on, I did use 9 different tissues to have our project. So our hypothesis is basically saying that we expect them to have a high number of abnormal cells and mitosis cells in the HPV.
Things as you are. Things come through your eyes, but they are interpreted by your perception, your life experience, your way. Are you taking a picture of that or me? See, Rose, I needed to forewarn you when you had me live. She's like, I never had her live. She was always virtual.
So much better than Susan.
That's very glad. You have it, sir?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, we heard this term, another term 1,000 times. We've heard this term about biases all the time, and how are they developed? So you tell me, before I give you all my little slide here, little bullets, how are biases developed? How do you think biases are developed? Yes.
They're kind of passed down through your parents' ideologies and ideologies of people you have around you.
Very, very good, right? Passed down through parents and people around you. Very good. All right. Anyone else? Yes.
Reinforced by your environment.
Okay. Reinforced by environment.
People that think like you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Right on point. All right. Of what it is, of how they are developed themselves. So thank you. Right. Lack exposure to truth. Real truth, right? You might be surrounded by what you consider your truth, but it might be other kinds of truth are you willing to look at. Also, a history of biases within, you guys talked about, right? Family history, okay, it might be. Or biases help justify attitudes of racism, right? Because if I start seeing things that knocking out, like, whoa, no, wait a minute. All these people are supposed to be this way. What are you doing research posters? No, you're not the right color. I need you to be this one to do research. You're going out of my, therefore I'm not even going to entertain that. Sometimes biases can be more acceptable to the belief than the truth. Because some people are being challenged by, you know what, I was raised this way, but now I'm finding that was not right. I love mommy, daddy, I love grandpa, grandma, but you know what? That was not correct. I need to step out of that, but that's not always an easy end to do. You have to make some decisions there of what's going to happen in that regard. Right?
So I'm right here now with a new buddy of mine, Peter. I'm really excited about Peter just because he's an exciting guy, but also because he's from NJCU. Awesome. So Peter, again, congratulations. You've been amazing. We heard your presentation. We saw your poster. So many things. And so just real quick, two things. How did you get into the program? All right. And then how do you feel you've gained from being in this program?
So, of course, I applied for the program. So there's a cycle you have to go through, like uploading, write an essay, got letter of recommendation. So it's technically taken like 3 months to hear back from them about if you got accepted or not. And they basically interview with you like for a couple of times. It's not one time. Like for me, I did. They interviewed me like 3 times with different BIs. So this is how I got into the program. And of course, I really thank NJCU because without the event they had over there, I was not gonna know about the program itself. So I really appreciate the event and Miss Sarah as well, because she sent me all the information, and this is how I got connected with them. So that was about how I applied for the program. The other question was, what did I gain? Is actually I learned a lot about the wet lab and being in the lab and hand in tissues and cancer cells from actually real patients. It really developed my critical thinking and also to work in communication with the other lab partners because if the project is not about just one step, it's a really long journey to go from the first step to the last step, and you're not responsible for the whole 10 steps. It's actually everyone in the lab has their like 3 or 4 steps. So basically we're taking from each other. So the communication with each other, it really developed me professionally, and I really gained a lot of information about the cancer, and I'm looking for like to do oncology in my future, hopefully. Yeah.
Nice. So you're a future oncologist.
Basically.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
So let me get Peter and I both here. So this is Peter, a glowing example from NJCU Gothic Knights. All right?
Thank you.
And you're scheduled to graduate in May, right?
Yeah, 25.
Awesome. So look out for Peter.
Thank you.
May 25, graduation, NJCU. Now we get to hear from Lady G herself, Georgeanne Osanya, aka in her school by her students, Miss O. And so here she is. And if you could tell us your reflections on what you feel you've gained from the RUYES program.
Okay, so the RUYES program is a twofold program. It's 2 summers, 2 years, 2023 and 2024. So I say twofold because there is the lab research where we shadow the researchers, learn skills from them, and we're supposed to take that back to our community and our schools. But then we also have professional development, and we have those professionals help us with the curriculum, and we are supposed to develop cancer-related units that we teach our students. So last year I worked on standard curves, which I applied this year when I was working on the Western blot technique, which I definitely hope I will have a chance to apply back in school or in the community. That was my lab work. And as far as professional development is concerned, I developed units on environmental health and cancer awareness. I had the students do research. We went through the librarian to show us reliable websites. Then they did research on e-cigarettes and vaping, made posters, but also they did research on a cancer of choice. This was done over the engineering week. And then they had questions for each other, and they tested again with the people they had questioned to see if there had been any improvement or gain in knowledge. We also had a trip to the Cancer Institute of New Jersey then. Right now it's not called of New Jersey, it's just called the Cancer Institute. And that's actually where we had the symposium today. It's right across from me even as I speak. I remember we came a bus load of 45 students and 5 chaperones, and the facilitator of the RUYES program, actually both of them, Cassandra and Rosa mandate, they had activities, they had tours planned, we had speakers, so it was wonderful. So as well as that, I mean, because of the RUYES program, I got to know the nurse in charge of Bayonne, because initially I didn't know who to go to, so she was my first contact person. I did interact with the environmental people a bit, but they didn't have too much information for me. And this year I'm really looking forward to a whole lot. I mean, we will be working with my students on maybe designing filters that can filter out carcinogens in water. And then also I will be developing a unit on that to teach. I teach about 100 students. And then we will have the club. Last year the club was more low scale. I did it with 10 of my students, but even this next week on Thursday we have freshmen coming in, so I have a student who's willing to man a desk, and we will be just establishing interest for that club for next year. And then there will be the whole week of engineering week again. So there's a lot lined up. We didn't quite finish doing a message video, which we intend to do and run it in the cafeterias. They have the screens, and possibly do peer advice, because we do have students, special services, and students who have been under the influence, who I feel it would be of benefit just for some of my students to have a chat with. So those are all the benefits in a nutshell.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations for 2 summers and incredible learning points that you've taken back, you know, learning for yourself and learning points you've taken back to your students at Bayonne High School.
Thank you. Thank you also for being so supportive. Appreciate it.
And so, good people, across the street is the car park where our car is parked. And so we'll be heading there and heading out. So thanks so much for your time here on this channel. I know it's been sporadic putting up videos, but hey, you know, that's kind of how life has been. Nonetheless, I always hope that everyone out there is doing well, doing great, staying blessed. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sparing, even if it's just a few minutes, on 1 or 2 of the videos here on this channel. Always and in everything, please do stay well and stay blessed.